Jury selection in the Lori Vallow murder trial in Idaho is coming to a close. Opening statements are set to begin on Monday. Prosecutors say Vallow and her husband Chad Daybell were members of a Doomsday cult. They are accused of killing Vallow's two youngest children, believing they were possessed. Joining us now with the latest in Boise, Idaho, is NewsNation senior national correspondent Brian Entin. And Brian, I understand, they've got it down. They're almost close when it comes to the jury pool, right? They might finish today.
They are, Elizabeth. I feel like I tell you that every day, though, that they're getting very, very, very close. But today they actually are. They just need to get about 3 more jurors to get to the number 42, and then each side will get to strike 12 jurors. Then they'll be down to 18, which is what they need, 12 jurors and 6 alternates. So that is either going to happen within the next hour or so. They're still working very, very hard behind me in the courthouse. If they don't finish it totally today, they'll come back tomorrow morning for a couple of hours, and then opening statements will begin on Monday.
And the judge did make a pretty key ruling today, allowing the grandparents of the children, the murdered children, to remain in the courtroom along with their older brother and a couple of other family members. I know that Lori's Vallow's legal team really fought that. Can you explain why?
Yeah, they didn't think that they needed to be in the courtroom for the entire trial because they are also witnesses. It's sort of a tricky situation because not only are they victims with this whole entire thing, but they're also witnesses in the trial. So her legal team didn't think that they should be here. They were very, very upset about that, saying they wanted to sit through the entire trial, but that was their right. This morning, the judge made the ruling. We got it first thing this morning, saying that they would be allowed to sit through the trial, which was a huge relief for the grandparents.
Right, it was the grandparents who first reported the children missing to police and started the ball rolling in the big 4-month-long manhunt for the kids until they sadly discovered their bodies. Okay, stand by for 1 second. I'd like to bring in psychologist Dr. John Matthias. You were featured actually in a Netflix documentary about this whole thing, which is fascinating to watch, I must say. Lori was swept up into this doomsday cult, which believed the world would end on July 22nd, 2020. It hasn't. We're here. She once spoke on tape, though, about hearing voices and seeing visions. Let's take a listen to that.
I was in the ceiling room one time, and I saw a spirit sister come over, and she kissed me on the cheek before she disappeared through the wall. And I'll tell you, I've had people talk to me. All of a sudden, I hear this voice super loud. And I look around, I'm like, anybody hear that? No? Okay.
All right, doctor, what's your expert opinion as you listen to that? Is she a true believer?
I think Lori's definitely a true believer. So I think that particular quote raises a lot of questions about her mental health for sure. You could ask whether maybe there's some symptoms of schizophrenia there, or delusions, or maybe disassociation. It's hard to really tease it out. I think there's been a handful of evaluations conducted on Lori to kind of figure that out, and we're in the trial and she's there, so the perception must be that she's competent at the moment.
She was initially found mentally unfit to stand trial, committed to a psychiatric facility, and then later determined to be competent. How does somebody assess that? What happened? What changed? Do we know?
Her records are obviously private medical records, so nobody's seen them, and they're sealed, as it should be. But just looking at statistics on competency, roughly 75% of defendants that are deemed incompetent have some type of schizophrenia. So if you look at the odds, there probably was some diagnosis related to schizophrenia. There's some speculation that perhaps it was schizoaffective. Again, I haven't seen the record, so I wouldn't know, but usually medication is sufficient to resolve that issue and to get people back to competency within 3 to 6 months, typically. So I think Lori took a little longer, but perhaps that's what they did. I'm not exactly sure, but that's a typical course of treatment in these situations.
And what is the assessment? How do officials determine if a defendant like Lori Vallow is competent to stand trial? Is it that she understands right versus wrong, or what exactly is the standard there?
Yeah, it's a two-pronged approach. One is that she has to have an understanding of the charges and the proceedings of the courtroom. So she just has to have a basic understanding of basically what's occurring and what the charges are and what they mean, the repercussions of that, especially if the death penalty is on the table, which obviously it was taken off, so that's not an issue here. But and the second component is she needs to participate in decision making with her defense. She has to have the ability to aid her defense or to be a part of her defense. And so if she can't perform one or the other of those functions or both, then the trial can't proceed.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.